Welcome to TechSpherePodcast. Today we're going to be diving deep into a pretty significant topic that's really making waves throughout the tech world and even beyond that. We're talking about Godfather of AI. He has some things to say about AI exceeding human intelligence and even this idea of it trying to take over. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please like and subscribe and tell your friends, share this around. All right, so let's get into it. We're doing a deep dive today into the world of AI with a pretty major name, Geoffrey Hinton, often referred to as the Godfather of AI. He had an interview with the BBC recently where he expressed some pretty serious concerns about AI becoming super intelligent and maybe even potentially trying to take over.
Yeah, it's a pretty stark warning coming from someone who's been at the forefront of AI research for, decades now. Hinton's actually predicting that AI could even surpass human intelligence in the next 20 years. And he's not alone in this. Many experts share this view, which really makes his concerns that much more significant.
Yeah, he even kind of made a comparison to Oppenheimer and the Manhattan Project, expressing concerns about an AI arms race, particularly with, the development of autonomous weapons systems. It's like, this isn't science fiction anymore. It's like a genuine, real concern. Hinton even suggested that we need international agreements to regulate AI in warfare, like similar to what we have for chemical weapons.
What's really interesting to me is that Hinton's concerns are really stemming from this deep understanding he has of how AI is developing. He explains that AI, in particular large language models, they're starting to learn in ways that are honestly surprisingly similar to how our brains understand language.
Yeah.
Imagine a vast network of these interconnected AI systems sharing knowledge instantaneously. That's the kind of rapid advancement that Hinton's really talking about, and it's why he believes AI could quickly just surpass human capabilities.
It's like they're forming almost like a hive mind, right?
Yeah.
A collective intelligence that could just grow exponentially. So if AI becomes this super intelligent, how do we even begin to control it? That's the, million-dollar question. And Hinton acknowledges there's a whole spectrum of opinion on this, right?
Yeah. You have some experts who are more on the side of we can maintain control AI as these sophisticated tools, but then there are those, and Hinton is definitely one of them, that are a little more cautious, suggesting that controlling this super intelligent AI, it could be incredibly difficult, maybe even impossible. It's a major challenge that we need to really face head on, this control problem, as it's often called.
Yeah. All this talk of super intelligent AI can sound pretty abstract and theoretical, but it really does have real world implications. One of Hinton's biggest concerns is the impact of AI on jobs, the impact on society. It's think about it. If AI can outperform humans in many intellectual tasks, what happens to people's livelihoods, their jobs?
Yeah, he actually predicts that AI could really disrupt many jobs, especially in those kind of mid-level intellectual fields, things like accounting, law, even programming, and this could really lead to massive wealth inequality, could even fuel, political and social instability. Hinton, he suggests solutions like universal basic income, UBI, might be necessary to kind of address the economic fallout. But even then, that really doesn't even begin to tackle the deeper issue of people, they derive their sense of self-worth from their work.
So what's Hinton's advice in a world where AI is changing, the landscape of work is changing so rapidly?
Well, it's a little unexpected, maybe even a bit humorous. He suggests maybe a career in plumbing. Yeah. That caught my attention too. His reasoning was AI still really struggles with physical manipulation, those tasks that require dexterity and real-world problem solving. So maybe plumbers, they're safe for a while longer. But honestly, on a more serious note, Hinton's kind of, quip there, it highlights something really important, the unpredictable nature of AI's development. We can try to make educated guesses, but we don't know for sure how AI will evolve or what tasks it will master next.
Yeah, it's definitely a sobering thought that even the Godfather of AI doesn't have all the answers. And that's what makes all of this so fascinating, right? Mm-hmm. There's so much uncertainty, so much potential for both, really good outcomes and really bad outcomes.
Yeah, it's almost like we're dealing with two ticking time bombs, right? One is that more immediate threat of AI being used in these autonomous weapons systems, something that Hinton is, he's clearly very worried about. The other is that, longer term risk of AI becoming super intelligent and maybe potentially going rogue.
Right. And those two threats are kind of connected, aren't they? The more we develop AI, the more sophisticated it becomes, the greater that potential is for both positive and negative outcomes. It's a tricky balance to strike.
Absolutely. And you can see Hinton himself almost grappling with this tension, right? He is a pioneer in this field, someone who's contributed so much to AI's development, and yet now he's really sounding the alarm, urging caution, urging thoughtful regulation.
It kind of reminds me of that classic story of Dr. Frankenstein, right? You create something so powerful and maybe even beautiful, but then you realize it can become a monster.
Yeah.
The question is, can we control the monster that we've created? It seems like that's really at the heart of this whole conversation around AI.
That's a powerful analogy. And it leads us to, I think, a really important question. What steps can we take now to prepare for that future where AI is playing an even bigger role in our lives? Hinton suggests really investing heavily in AI safety research, figuring out how to align AI's goals with our own, ensuring that it remains beneficial to humanity.
Yeah, he also emphasizes the need for international cooperation, which, when you think about it, it makes perfect sense, right? AI is a global phenomenon.
Yeah.
Working together to establish ethical guidelines, regulations, even treaties to govern its development and use. It seems critical at this point.
Yeah, it's like we need to build almost like a global immune system, for the digital age. We need safeguards in place to protect ourselves from those potential harms of AI while still fostering, its potential for good. It's a tall order, but it's a necessary one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can't afford to be complacent. The stakes they're just too high. But beyond these sort of international cooperation and safety research, is there anything that can be done on a more individual level?
Yeah, this is where, education and just raising public awareness is so important. The more people actually understand AI, its capabilities, its potential impact, the better equipped we are to make informed decisions about its future. It's about empowering individuals, giving them the tools they need to really engage in this conversation and ask those critical questions and really hold accountable those people that are developing and deploying AI.
It's about moving beyond the hype and even the fear that often surrounds AI and having those open and honest conversations about its implications. And we need to kind of demystify AI. It's not just like this one monolithic thing, is it?
No, exactly. It's really a collection of technologies, algorithms, and, applications that are being used in all sorts of different contexts. I think instead of asking, is AI good or bad, maybe we need to start asking, more nuanced questions like, how is the specific AI system being used? What are its benefits? What are the potential risks? And who is actually accountable for its development and deployment?
Those are great questions. And it feels like we need to move beyond this kind of simplistic binary thinking and really embrace the complexity of the issue. AI is a tool, a powerful tool. And just like any tool, it can be used for good and it can be used for bad. The choices that we make now, those are going to determine its ultimate impact on the world.
That's why it's so important to have all these diverse voices at the table, technologists, ethicists, policymakers, social scientists, artists, everyday citizens. Everybody needs to be a part of this. This isn't just something for the tech world to grapple with. It affects all of us.
Yeah, it feels like we're at a crossroads with AI, doesn't it? On the one hand, it has the potential to solve some of humanity's greatest challenges, like climate change or curing diseases.
But, like Hinton says, there's some big risks that we need to be smart about it and address them head on.
That's where I think Hinton's idea of this international cooperation, it just seems so crucial. Like we can't afford to have all these different approaches to AI, all these different ways of governing it.
Right. Imagine like one country just races ahead developing AI with no regard for ethics or, safety protocols. It could be catastrophic for everyone, not just them.
It's like we almost need a global AI watchdog,
Yeah.
Some organization that could set standards and make sure everyone's following them, make sure AI is being used responsibly.
Yeah, like an international body for AI. It's not that crazy, is it? We already have organizations that regulate other dangerous technologies.
Yeah.
Things like nuclear weapons. Maybe AI needs that too.
And maybe that framework, that global framework, could even help us with the societal impacts of AI, like, people losing jobs to automation. We might have to rethink our economic models altogether. Things like universal basic income or, job retraining programs to help people adapt.
Yeah, AI is going to change the future of work, that's for sure. But I think it's important to remember that it's not just about jobs. It's about, what gives people a sense of purpose, their identity, where they fit in society.
That's a good point. So much of how we see ourselves, how we see our place in the world, it's tied up in what we do, the work that we do.
Exactly. We need to find ways to make sure that everyone can contribute and thrive, even in a world where where AI is doing more and more, even if those, traditional jobs start to disappear, people still need meaning.
As we wrap up here, I keep coming back to something Hinton said at the end of his interview, something like, if we're not careful, AI could be the last invention humanity ever makes. It's a scary thought, but it's a call to action, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a reminder that we have a choice. We can sit back and just watch as all this happens, or we can be a part of shaping it, shaping that future. Embrace the potential of AI, but be smart about the risks.
It's a powerful thought. We're not just passengers on this tech train. We're the ones driving it. And I hope that's what our listeners take away from this conversation today.
AI is here. It's already changing things, and it's only going to get, more powerful, more influential. So stay informed, stay engaged, be a part of this conversation.
The future of AI, it's not set in stone. It's something that we're all building together. And if we approach it with careful thought and a focus on what's best for humanity, I think we can harness the power of AI to make the world a better place for everyone. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. We'll be back next week with another topic, another deep dive into something fascinating. Until then, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning.